Now we're moving on to day 2 of my Transformers Combiner Wars Bruticus week. I haven't thought of anything clever, so I'm just gonna leave it as Bruticus week. But anyways, we're taking a look at Vortex, which once again is not unexpected at this point. A retool, well, not even a retool, it's just, from what I can tell, it's just a straight on repaint of Alpha Bravo, so there isn't a whole lot you can get with this one. Even the head is pretty much the same from what I can tell. So, overall, once again, it's just going to be the same figure as you'll see with Alpha Bravo. Now, unlike Blaze, which did have a new head and so on, this obviously is going to be the exact same thing as you could see in Alpha Bravo, so there isn't a whole lot more you can expect with the mold itself if you own Alpha Bravo. He does include this really nice blaster, which I think is just a repack. I don't think they even repainted it, if I remember correctly, as one of the early releases. But then again, I think it was actually colored black, so I think this is actually a different colored blaster. It does have a new limb as normal. So, here we go with the articulation. So, the articulation, he does have ball jointed head, ball joints at the shoulders, which are very tight here. Can also move outward. Swivels at the elbows, ratchets as well, which are really tight on here. He has waist articulation due to transformation and for combination. He has outward hip movement, forward as well. Bend at the knee, can swivel, and feet can pivot a bit due to transformation, but that's pretty much it. Transformation is also the exact same thing as Alpha Bravo, and this time even blades. We're going to snap these together to make it easier for us to move on. We're going to push the propellers into place and pull this up so we can get them out of the way. We're going to turn this entire component around, put away the head, and I like to turn this around so that it won't be exposed at the bottom of the vehicle mode. We're then going to push this up into place and turn the back fin there. You're then going to open up this component, and then you're going to push this into the little notches there as normal. So it's the same thing as you'll see with the other releases, so it'll be easy to just go on from here. We're going to move the front part of the vehicle into place, peg them together, snap this down, and then we're going to take this away to make it easier for now. Push these into place, and push this down to complete the transformation. And there we have Vortex in his vehicle mode. Now, while it's definitely a lot more colorful than the other releases, since the other two releases of this mold were in white, it still works pretty well for blades, I think, personally. Now, I heard that the Takara version is rumored to actually have 4 rotor blades, which is definitely a lot more accurate to the actual helicopter used in the Generation 1 design. But I think the 2 blades work out pretty decently, since, I don't know, I just don't really mind the Hasbro release at all. And unlike the other 2 releases, I think it's definitely okay, since it is supposed to be kind of like a World War vehicle, that this time it does have the full-on rockets there. So blades was very strange, but here it's definitely more appropriate. The weapons can also be stored in vehicle mode in either way, so we're just going to plug the gun up here. So it looks like that. And mostly this bottom piece can be just plugged at the bottom here with this empty hole there. So there we go. So it's fully armed up, and the propeller can spin like normal. So other than that, it's pretty much the same which we've seen previously on my channel, and for those who already have either Blades or Alpha Bravo. So we're just going to quickly transfer it back. Now, easy to just put it back together. Now, I definitely recommend either versions of Bruticus, either going by Takara, as I mentioned earlier in my Blaster review, or just getting ahead and getting the Hasbro releases, which I think are pretty decent for what they are. I still think, well, obviously a lot of G1 fans, from what I could tell, definitely prefer full-on G1 accuracy. These are still pretty great for what you get in the Hasbro releases of the Transformers Combiner Wars Bruticus. Now, as of this recording, as I mentioned also in my Blaster video, the figures are still available in the various locations such as TF Source, BBTS, and maybe even on Toys R Us or something. That one I'm not 100% sure, but I highly recommend picking these up, especially since Bruticus is, in my opinion, probably a combiner that actually can almost be just as good as Superion, since it really fixes a lot of the problems that were present in the full-on Defensor combination, and I think it turned out pretty nicely. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hirotaku, and this video should be posted there as well. Also, please check down the other channels down below, including the WW Podcast and more. Also, please check out my Twitter handle under Darkon633, and I will try to put more Twitter posts there in the next couple of months and so on. But anyways, we'll be back with tomorrow's video for Transformers Combiner Wars, and I'll be sitting YouTube. Bye.